Have you ever stopped to wonder what happens when a royal PR project, built entirely on hysterical demands for privacy, crashes headlong into the absolute masters of publicity? Pause. Today, we are not just witnessing a PR failure, this is a catastrophe. This is Photogate, and this is the moment the Duchess of Delusion made a fatal amateur mistake that might just cost her entire Hollywood dream. Sharp transition look. These two characters, the ones who fled institutional life to avoid toxic attention, the pair who monetized their tears and press complaints into hundreds of millions of dollars, are suddenly found. Where? At the 70th birthday bash of Kris Jenner, the very matriarchal deity whose entire brand is built on monetizing every single breath her family takes. There it is, your benchmark of authenticity, ditching duty for a selfie with the Kardashians. Let me dissect this episode with anatomical precision. The event took place right before Memorial Day. For anyone who understands American culture, or more importantly, Prince Harry's military past, this is a time for quiet, respectful, deferential service and remembrance. And what does our PR mascot and his wife, who loves to reference his former title of Captain Wales, do? They put on their best designer outfits and scratch their way into a party where the sole objective is to be seen. This is not just a lack of tact. This is a demonstrable rejection of duty for the sake of self-serving exposure. Harry, who once embodied honor and remembrance, traded the potential for quiet, dignified events dedicated to his fallen comrades for a chance to stand next to Kim Kardashian. His role now is merely to be a living piece of furniture, a prop, legitimizing the social climb of the Duchess of Delusion. He has become the relevance spare tire strapped to the Kardashian carriage. And there they are, smiling, posing, actively, willingly posing for pictures. All was well until the morning after. Team Sussex, waking up on Monday and seeing their images circulating next to hashtags related to reality television and ultra wealth, suddenly realized the catastrophic optics. You see, the problem isn't either being seen, the problem is being seen in such desperate pursuit of fame. They need to be perceived as royal humanitarians, not as Hollywood supplicants. So what do? They reportedly demand that the Kardashians delete the photos. Ponder the sheer hubris. You willingly walk into the lion, to mouth, into the prime-time PR machine of the Kardashians, and then the next morning, you try to dictate their PR strategy. This is not just hypocrisy. This is PR amateurism of the highest order. You cannot blame the Kardashians for doing the one thing they do best, monetizing their lives. And this, dear viewers, is where we deploy our main dramatic tool, contrast. We pit service against self-promotion. While the Duchess of Delusion and her PR mascot were scrambling to clean up, Photogate, where was the Princess of Wales? Kate? Kate, the standard of service, was engaged in the quiet, authentic execution of her duty. While the Sussexes were trading their former royal glory for a party invitation, Kate and the other working members of the family were upholding the very British and, frankly, American values Harry should have been embodying that weekend: honor, duty, remembrance. Her actions, as always, were infused with dignity and grace. No shouting PR, no desperate smiles for the tabloids, just a quiet, unyielding commitment to the crown and to the people. Contrast that quiet, powerful act of authenticity with the Sussexes' desperate cry for attention. Kate embodies the duty that must be earned. The Sussexes embody the title they are desperately trying to monetize. In their world, their brand requires you to believe they are above Hollywood, that they are on the level of a Nelson Mandela or a Mother Teresa. Yet, their actions consistently land them at the party, fighting for the spotlight with reality stars. Pause. The irony here is so thick you could cut it with a knife. They quit the service of the crown because it was allegedly, quote, "Gaisas," only to leap into the arms of the family that patented publicity. Photogate is not merely a PR scandal, it is an indictment, a verdict against the Sussex brand. R1, the verdict of hypocrisy. They proved that their complaint about, quote, "Patajabandit" is simply a shield for narrative control. They only want privacy when they don't like the result of publicity. The verdict of amateurism, they dared to pick a fight with the real royal family of Hollywood, the Kardashians. This was worse than a spat with a tabloid. You cannot win the PR game against the people who invented the game. In this world, the Sussexes' title monetization looks pathetic next to a $1 billion empire built on no restraint whatsoever. The most bitter conclusion we must draw today is this. The Duchess of Delusion tried to leverage the Kardashians for her social ascendancy, but instead, she allowed them to destroy the remnants of her Hollywood dream. Reports suggest this spat with Kris Jenner may have torpedoed her chances at serious Hollywood work. Why? Because Hollywood is a community, and the prime rule in that community is you do not cross the Kardashians. They thought they could be royal the Hollywood way, dictating the rules. But Hollywood has shown them their titles, and their complaints are worthless in a world where reputation is currency, not a reason for PR martyrdom. They are fooling no one. We see the desperation, we see the self-serving nature, we see the lack of authenticity. They sold their duty for cheap fame, and now they are paying the highest price for it, losing the respect of the very world they so desperately sought to join. Remember this. Service must be earned, not branded. And when you trade your past and your dignity for a seat at the table, you ultimately find yourself at the table, from which you are being evicted for trying to dictate rules to the hosts.